Let's see how easy it is to analyze data in Harmoni using the International Visitors Survey project. In this fully designed project, we have multiple weights, a long list of date variables, and other variables representing every question from the survey. Since this is a multi-year tracker, let's see how visitors to New Zealand from the top 10 markets have changed by quarter. When visualizing, we can immediately see the data as a line chart. The default, since we have a date variable across. Let's use suppress to remove the zero data during COVID when no visitors could enter New Zealand. There is clutter at the base of the chart, so let's make some changes. First, we'll rank the table by the most recent period. Then graph just the top 5 markets. We can adjust the time slider to look at the longer-term trends from these top markets. Australia shows a clear seasonal trend. The noticeable peak indicates when Australian visitors were allowed back in after COVID. Harmoni can display the weighted and projected visitor count instead of share. You can see a steady increase in the number of Australian visitors to New Zealand over time, but after 2020, the visitor numbers have not returned to pre-COVID levels. Let's focus more closely on visitors from Australia. We can add the chart showing Australia's share to a new story in anticipation of sharing it later. When starting a new story, it is best to give it a meaningful name. Clicking the story tile reveals the chart, and when you share the story, viewers can interact with the view. We can now drill into the rich data available in the project to start understanding what makes visitors from Australia unique. Do this in Harmoni using the Discover function to literally discover everything the data can tell us about visitors from Australia. Discover uses a set of predefined descriptor variables which, in this case, includes almost all the questions from the survey. Discover displays all the values from the descriptor variables that most positively differentiate Australian visitors from all visitors. Staying with family and friends is significant for Australians, as is visiting friends and relatives. This is not surprising as New Zealand and Australia have a close relationship. Australians are also likely to be traveling to a conference and also for business, although the incidence is lower for these. It's also relevant that this is not their first visit, and we can see that visitors are not staying for long periods. How do Australian visitors compare to those from the other top 10 markets? Discover retains the ranking based on Australia, then adds the other countries by similarity with Australia. Singapore has the most similar profile, and the further you move to the right of the table, the less similar the markets are. Visitors from the US are clearly different to those from Australia. Let's see what they're about. Visiting natural attractions, visiting different regions, and taking part in Maori cultural experiences. And let's look at one more. Visitors from Japan are more likely to be younger and it's their first visit. We can also see that they like scenic tours and did not drive. Now that we know some differentiating factors for the markets visiting New Zealand, we can focus our analysis on these important factors to increase our understanding of visitors to New Zealand. Take a look at the Analysis Quick Start tutorial or review the analysis articles in our knowledge base for more guidance. Thanks for watching.